When Barry and I purchased our home, it was only after 7 months of dating. We had full-time jobs, and we had both kind of different design backgrounds. In the process of us sharing our journey of our renovation restoration, the community here in Brooklyn was reaching out, asking us a bunch of questions. And finally, we asked somebody if they needed help, and they, without any hesitation, said, "We do, and we want to work with you guys." That led to our very first client, quickly escalated to 3 clients, and that's when Barry and I quit our full-time jobs and pursued Brownstone Boys full-time. Since then, we have renovated over 30 homes, and each and every home comes with its own challenge, with its own excitement, and its own mark on personality within the future home of our client. Brownstones, for those that don't know, are townhouses that are connected by party walls.
They're really beautiful. They create a very gorgeous community and streetscape with the gorgeous stoops and tree-lined streets. And our house is about 20 by 40, so about 20 feet wide and about 40 feet deep.
Our house was built in 1890. It is located here in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn, New York, and we really wanted to marry in that 1890 craftsmanship into a modern lifestyle.
So the parlor floor is the floor that you enter on when you come up the stoop. And traditionally it's the floor that's the most ornate. It's where guests were received. And so you see higher ceilings and beautiful moldings. In our house, we have our living room, our dining area, and our kitchen on the parlor floor. We lovingly and painstakingly restored all of this woodwork and made it really be the star of the show as you walk into the home.
We kept the original staircase, and something very special for me is just thinking of the many lives that have walked up and down the stairs. We wood stripped all of the original woodwork, and then we put a light matte finish on it. Walking into our parlor floor in our living room, we now have 2 conversational areas. So we wanted the TV in the middle of the living room as the end of a very long workday. We love watching shows that inspire us. And we then wanted a separate area that when we do have friends and family over, we can have a little conversation area. So now we have kind of 2 living areas within our living room.
In a lot of our projects, we're not only restoring original features of the home, we're also building back in some of that character that may have been removed over the years. And so we had a lot of opportunities to do that in our home. One of the things that we did was add a vintage fireplace mantle back in where one was originally. Another way we did that was with a lot of the moldings that you see around the house. So the moldings really are one of the things that make a historic home what it is. And so we put picture frame molding up around the room. We redid a lot of the original plaster crown molding. We put in a new plaster medallion on the ceiling where one would have been originally. And one of the biggest things that we did was built a new wall separating the living room from the kitchen. That's a cased opening.
In our living room, we added a creamy white from Farrow & Ball called Shaded White. And then we used a darker tone on the ceiling just to give the illusion of grander height and more detailed ceiling space. And then to highlight our woodwork that we did, our very first DIY project, which is the wood shutters that were paint stripped, we added some beautiful shears from Nordic Notch just to give that evolution of the height on the window casings. We added some beautiful wall sconces into this new renovation of ours. You really want to think of a thorough lighting plan before you tackle a renovation.
We also mixed in some new items with vintage items, which we try to do in a lot of our projects. So we have a beautiful vintage chandelier in the center of the space. We wanted something quite large to fill the space so we could have one central light. One of our DIY projects was we built a custom mirror. We got some vintage glass and we framed it with a really simple molding that we actually use in a lot of our projects, and it created something unique, something different, and very custom to the house.
I had a lot of fun with the furniture in this home, and that is thanks to Facebook Marketplace. I always love creative ways of giving old pieces a new life. The art throughout our home has been collected by Barry and I for several years. Two new pieces are welcome into this renovation of ours. The first is from an artist that we have worked with from his very beginning and our very beginning, Jake Snowden. And he created a custom piece for us with all of the new tones incorporated into the colors. Just really love the piece. Another local artist is Tadahiro, who does woodwork, art that is based on wood, and then he adds resin, and he created a sculptural piece for us that is now displayed in our conversational corner. And I love this piece because it is called Connectedness, and it has two bodies connecting, and all of the colors, all of the tone tells stories of Barry's and I's life over the several years of us knowing each other.
The foundation of our kitchen redesign was moving the dining area into the kitchen space. And so it gave us a really amazing opportunity to design a banquette and redesign the entire wall that the banquette is on.
And something really special about this glow up is adding the wall and the header going into the kitchen. And I really love having separations of rooms. Now we have a separate kitchen, and the cooking, the hosting in the kitchen can be in the kitchen. And then we can enjoy our living area for what we do best, and that's watching TV.
So we painted the walls and the cabinetry a gorgeous green from Farrow & Ball called Dibber. We have a custom walnut table that we designed and had built especially for the space. We found these vintage chairs on First Dibs.
And shout out to the two artisans that really helped us design this area, Ruti and Kelly. Kelly from Picnic House Drapers and Ruti from Find the Thread. And they're both masters in their craft of textiles. And something I'm so proud of in this area, and that is intentionality and organization. We've led with kitchen organization. We have now a tall storage cabinet to the right of the banquette that hides all of the plastics, hides all of the appliances that we don't want visible.
We really wanted to redesign the kitchen so that everything had a home, and we could keep the clutter off the counters and make sure the appliances had electrical to be plugged into the cabinets, inside the cabinets.
The interior of the cabinets are equally as important in interior design as the beautiful finish that you see visually walking through a space.
We wanted to remove the upper cabinets and create a marble shelf with a marble backsplash. And so we found this marble at ABC Stone and immediately fell in love with it.
Another thing in the kitchen that gives me great joy, and design should always make you feel happy and give you joy, is a seltzer faucet from Growy. I've spent a lot of money on seltzer water, and I thought if I can find a machine that gives me seltzer, I could stop spending all of the money on the seltzer bottles. And we found this beautiful system that gives you filtered water, it gives you seltzer water, and it's saving me a lot of money. So I love it so much.
So as we head upstairs, we're gonna go up our original staircase that's still very creaky. We call it our alarm system. We sourced a runner from a rug maker in India that really highlighted the tones in the wood. There's some beautiful browns and blues. We painted this space in a very serene color called light blue, and we contrasted it in our mudroom area with a color called reddish brown. As you go up the stairs, you have the beautiful light coming down from the original skylight that's over the stairway. 2 bedrooms, an office, and 2 bathrooms.
Also in the hallway are some of our sconces that we designed with blueprint lighting. I love kind of seeing our portfolio of work slowly incorporated into the home, and these sconces just really are stunning. They're a showpiece, and I think they look great in the evolution of our space. So behind the green door that you might have seen before is now our WC, which is our guest bathroom. This is a door that Barry and I made. We love this bathroom so much. It kind of gives a nod to what would have potentially been there, which is a quintessential New York bathroom. However, this was a bedroom prior to us taking over the house, so we knew that we wanted an extra bathroom in the space. And we really played into the design and just did kind of a tongue-in-cheek New York design. Classic floret tiles, black and white. We added a clawfoot tub, and we did paint this several renditions over the years, but we landed on our wallpaper. This is the townhouse stripe in brick. It just plays off beautifully with the classic New York design moments.
The next room is actually the brightest room in the house, even though it doesn't have a window. It does have a huge skylight that lets in so much light into the space. And this room was really inspired by the French countryside. And we were able to take a trip with Farrow and Ball to a chateau in the Loire Valley called Chateau Pernon, where they found some original, hundreds of years old wallpaper that was still on the walls, and they recreated some of the prints that they found. And this one is called the Auguste line. Farrow and Ball uses colors that they have in their collection in the wallpaper that they have, and so we're able to pull one of those colors out, it's Bancha, onto the wainscoting that you see go around the room. So it's a sweet little room. It's very nice. It's very bright. It's got this gorgeous wallpaper all the way around the space, and we also furnished the room with rejuvenation.
So moving into our primary, this room was inspired by a trip to the English countryside, having a feeling when I was in England that I wanted to bring back to New York. And I just remember being in this beautiful hotel that dated back to the mid-1800s, and they redid it in these wonderful tones. These feelings felt serene, and I remember telling Barry that I wanted to capture this feeling inside our bedroom. We painted the walls in this beautiful mustard yellow color from Farrow & Ball called Duster. We actually added a cream white to the ceiling just to play off that yellow color, as we thought drenching it would be a little too much. I love the ticking in the curtains on this, and we wanted a really dramatic curtain, as I think that was a highlight of the Pig Hotel. So Kelly at Picnic House Drapers worked with us on these customs. We have a tree in the backyard that we also feel like we're kind of in a tree house in our bedroom, and the green of the tree during spring and summer reflecting off this yellow is just really peaceful and brings me back to that beautiful trip on the English countryside.
So one piece in our bedroom that's really special to us is the armchair. For some reason, this is the only piece of furniture that was left in the house when we closed on it. We really liked it, and we kept it. It was covered in a very retro orange fabric. We decided for this version of our renovation, we wanted to reupholster it. So we had fabric from House of Hackney. Now it's a really special moment in the room. We call this room our office. It's painted in this deep tone that's called brinjal from Farrow & Ball. We also built a wall of millwork built-ins with bookshelves and cabinets below. We also were able to redo some of the existing features there to create more character. So we had a very average and plain bifold closet door, and we actually separated it to make it into French doors. And we really love how it creates a mood and a character in the space.
I really love the couch in the space. This is the Billy Cotton West Elm collection. I love that it's a low couch. You sink in as you sit in it, and I think that the height really plays into the color of the room. The Noguchi light is a classic, and I'm just such a fan of Noguchi, and I love the tones that this light gives off. Then to complete the space, we have the curtains from Meskin Home that I think just tie in the white of the couch, the brinjal, the dark and moody colors, and this really natural tone in those curtain shades. You know what? We should show them
No, I don't think we should show them.
Come on, I think they would love it.
It's a secret.
No, let's show them.
All right, so we have a speakeasy in our house. Let's show it to you.
We wanted to play into that classic early 1900s speakeasy New York City vibe. And this laundry room is definitely by far one of my favorite spaces now. It's inspired by RuPaul's Drag Race workroom. And it is a funky little space with a lot of character. We even have a disco ball in there. And now I am motivated to do my laundry just because I love the space that it's in so much.
You can see an entire wall of cabinetry and storage that we have, and right in the center of it is one of our favorite things in the space. It is a piece of stained glass that we salvaged from one of our projects. The client didn't want it in their space, and we wanted to find use for it, and so we backlit the stained glass so light would come through it, and just gives you the sense of, possibly there's an outside world there.
Added tin to the ceiling, so it has that classic tin ceiling look. We painted the entire space in green smoke by Farrow and Ball. Another trick that we did is we hid all of our mechanicals, the boiler. We added a curved slat wall made of wood 1x1s, and we just kind of brought that wood tone into the cellar space. This recent renovation of ours has really been an evolution of who we are as people.
I love that our home now reflects our personal style, and it not only reflects, ourselves, but also all the hard work we've put into it over the last 7 or 8 years, and the hard work we've put into all of our design work and all of our client work. So it's now a place that I love coming home to, I love spending time in, I love waking up in, and that's how your home should really feel for you.
Yeah, it took us 7 years to find this new version of ourselves. And design comes with time, and that is because you are always changing as a person. We are so grateful that you are here with us. Thank you for subscribing. Happy holidays. Sending love from our home here in Brooklyn. Bye, everyone.
All the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all, from the lights to the mistletoe.